Hello, and welcome to Explore the Neuroverse. Hello, and welcome to Explore the Neuroverse.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I mean, it's a pleasure.
Don't touch the mic.
Don't touch the mic. I mean, that's one thing.
It's an ADHD problem.
Yeah.
Do you know why you're here?
No. To be honest, I'm going with the experience, but yeah, no, I'm here to support you.
So who are you? Why are you here?
Where do we start? You know, first of all, I'm your husband, so let's start there.
Thank you, Yasser, for being my guinea pig.
Of course, you're welcome. We're here. We exploring your passion to the topic. Let's call it your enthusiasm, and how do you want to bring this topic out to the wild world? You know, so
the big wide world.
Exactly. Yeah, got it better this way.
When would you say that your first understanding of neurodiversity was? Like, do you remember?
I'd say when I was diagnosed, you know, it was kind of I knew that it's there. I mean, the topic, obviously we have a young man, at that time he was a kid, that is neurodiverse. But for me, it was more when I got diagnosed. I definitely think that kind of resonated more, because obviously when you get diagnosed, you start looking at it from actually a totally different perspective, because it was always kind of a...
Let me take you back a step, though. Okay, first of all, just for the audience's sake, you were diagnosed with ADHD.
Yes.
How many years ago?
3 years ago.
Okay. So for you, when I ask you that question, it resonates with you because of your own experience.
Yeah.
However, for some time before that, we went through a very challenging experience with our own son.
Yes.
With neurodiversity. So neurodiversity wasn't, before your ADHD diagnosis, wasn't unknown to you.
No, as I said to you, I knew about it.
Yeah.
But it's when you start understanding it. When you get diagnosed, you have a kind of a different, because you always kind of, you knew that there is something you're not like everybody. So that's what you call it, neurodiverse. You're different, right? You always knew along all your life you're different, yeah? But you didn't know what was that difference. So when you get diagnosed, and this is my experience, I don't know, I'm not talking about everybody else, but when you get diagnosed, especially at that later stage, and also coming across it, across your child and life that, happens because you have to accommodate. But you really don't understand it until you start, you diagnose is your first process. Because as an adult, I wouldn't say as a child. I would say as an adult.
So for you, you're saying that your diagnosis was somewhat enlightening for you?
For sure.
Because you were able to go on a journey where you were able to find the information, probably online, Instagram, probably, but just information that made you feel like you were understood, that you could understand some of the feelings that you were having, some of the things that had affected your life, and understand more about why you are the way you are. Not that it's a bad thing, just that it's different, and you and others around you need to be aware that you have some differences that sometimes need to be accommodated, and other things that make you brilliant.
I think the journey starts with yourself accommodating these, that they are, because I think some of the ADHD symptoms or ADHD behaviors or patterns, they cannot be changed. You just have to kind of find ways around it. In the past, it was things that you notice, especially if you obviously an adult and obviously went through life experiences enough that you realize that you call it sometimes bad habit or bad behavior in your head. I don't know how people would label it, but that's in my head. And you think that it's like, oh, I can fix it. It's like going to the gym. I can have bigger muscles, but I know I have to go to the gym. These are things that you cannot change. They are like that, but you have to use them, or build other skills to overcome these kind of neurological trends that the ADHD or any neurodiverse have. Because again, my understanding and my research and my reading, I started applying the understanding to my day-to-day and then measuring and realizing what it is. And obviously that kind of coupled with when you're diagnosed, you prescribed, some people or majority of people get prescribed medication. Medication makes the difference because then when the medication came in, it calmed a lot of these, what you in the past find them challenges, or you would call it, oh, I'm like that, this is me, and the assumption that there's millions of people are like you. But
okay,
yeah, so medication played a role to kind of because when you start your brain functioning in a different way, the medication shows you a different pattern.
So what do you think the impact of medication was on you, and how did it help you?
I think medication improved your certain focus. I mean, obviously with ADHD, I think, you have what they call it a hyperfocus, right? But then you get still distracted. So I think it brought in a daily hyperfocus rather than what I don't like to focus on. It brought in a bit more, I wouldn't say too much, of your time management and, trying to structure your daily behavior in a better way than the frantic kind of I can do everything but you do nothing. It's like master, what's the word for it? What's the sentence for it? Anyways, forgot. Again, ADHD brain works. But so it does give you a bit more structure.
So it gives you more focus.
Yeah.
You're able to complete things.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes for you personally, having lived with you for a very long time now, you get paralysis. Like you basically, you've got so much to do, you just don't do anything.
You know what you want to do, but you don't know what to do. You don't know how to actually action it. Yeah.
Okay. I think all of that is fair, but I'm actually surprised that was your starting point in this conversation. So
okay,
from that perspective, I honestly thought you were going to talk about the dyslexia first.
No.
You don't consider dyslexia part of it?
I came to know that dyslexia, I came to know later that, a lot of ADHD people are dyslexic. So dyslexia was, it was, okay, my issue with spelling and reading and etc. was because dyslexia, but I didn't know how much dyslexia was a very small part of ADHD until I knew.
Or
ADHD.
Of your overall profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it became it was the biggest thing. Now it's the tiniest thing. It's like literally because you see other things, because medication kind of shows you also where, I before I used to stop here or I wouldn't do that. Now I'm doing it. Yeah. So it gives you the stuff that you didn't do or you couldn't do, or the paralysis that you talk about. It snips. Paralysis is still there. It doesn't go away, but it's definitely reduced to a certain. Now, I think paralysis went down maybe at least 50%. So I'm being maybe, maybe 50%, maybe 40. I wouldn't say 50% because it's still there. It doesn't go away. Yeah, it doesn't. Really, it doesn't. I mean, it's a neuro, logical thing. It's not like you're going to get rid of it.
No, I mean, and I think that's the point of this podcast is also to talk about it's part of who we are.
Yeah.
We're different.
Yeah.
We don't need fixing.
No.
There's nothing wrong with this.
No, I don't. I mean, okay, medication is kind of a fixing, wouldn't you think?
It's accommodating. I mean, it's understanding there are some weaknesses that the medication can help with. I mean, if you have a headache, you take a Panadol. Like if you can take something that's going to help alleviate some of the symptoms, because that's what it's doing, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
And like for me, living with you, obviously, I see that you you do take the medication, and there is an obvious difference when you do, because you're very much what needs to get done.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you don't have the medication, you are horizontal on the couch.
Yeah, there's a crash, right?
Yeah.
There's the thing with the medication.
Yeah, it wears off, and it wears off hard.
And it gives you,
Right.
it gives you like 2 hours, I think, which I discussed with, the psychiatrist and the doctors, that you do get a crash.
Yeah. And we see it with Monty as well.
It is a side effect.
Yeah.
A side effect for something, okay, I would say not bad. It did help. I would say it's great.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't want to be taking it. So sometimes you get that. What do you think
to give
about
some
it?
context to my statement, Monty is our son. Monty is 14.
Yeah.
He has autism and ADHD. And I think if I talk from my own perspective, I feel like being his mother is like being on a roller coaster all the time. So we've talked about your journey a little bit, and obviously I think the crux of what you're saying is actually medication helps. It makes a difference. It alleviates some of your symptoms, so it helps you.
Yeah.
I guess the point that we haven't really touched on is that some of your biggest struggles are with executive functioning, and medication is the tool that helps specifically with executive functioning issues. We see it with you, we see it with Monty. Monty also has the executive functioning issues, so time management, organization, anything that's to a clock, basically, is
Correct.
Problematic.
Yes. Time doesn't exist.
Time doesn't exist,
That's
or
how
it
it is.
exists in the most extreme way.
Yes.
There is no middle ground.
Yeah, either it's urgency.
Yeah, urgency or not.
None. Sure.
Quite simply.
Very, very much. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about your journey of being Monty's dad? Like, what is your earliest memory of realizing Monty was different?
Oh, yeah, that does go quite back in time. I think I started in noticing the difference in a very early stage. When you start interacting, playing, wouldn't say on the age of a toddler, say maybe around 3-4 years old, because it's the time that you kind of you engage your child with other children. You say how other children, or you compare because you had experience with the same age. That age in particular, I mean, obviously they started talking, started building their character, and then you start also having, what they request, what they want. You realize that the pattern or the repetitive things or the norm, what people call normal, I wouldn't, but it exists, and then he would act differently than what other children, and that's in play game, I would say, in playtime.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I agree with you. I think it's some of the most early signs with Monty, which we didn't necessarily know at the time were signs, were really very obvious. And had there been people in his nurseries, for example, who had some experience of neurodivergency, I think that would have been picked up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And actually we went on this sort of strange journey of, ultimately he was expelled from 3 nursery schools.
Yeah. 2
and a half schools. We moved to England so that he could have a more consistent education. Purely because in the UK it's more difficult to remove children from schools.
Yeah, private schools here, they have upper hand, I guess, when it comes to at that time.
Yeah,
also.
Listen, look at it in the sense that if you've got one child in a classroom who's being disruptive, is it easier to keep the 15 other sets of parents who are paying you a fee every year for their school happy, and upset one parent, or vice versa? We're business people. We understand the math. At the end of the day, it's a business.
Yeah. Education is a business. It's private education is a business.
Private education is a business. Yes, absolutely. And I just don't think there is, even now, given our most recent experience of schooling with Monty, I don't think there is the level of understanding of neurodivergency in schools that is really needed.
Yeah.
I think it's great that more and more people are recognizing signs in their children and are choosing to get them diagnosed. I mean, there is a question about labels, right? Like, I'm from the UK. When I was in school, nobody ever wanted their kid to have a label. This idea that once you have a label, you're going to either use it or as an excuse, or the teachers will use it to be able to exclude you from lessons, or whatever the reasoning may be. I think we now understand so much more. I mean, even if you look at our own household, right? Every single one of us now has a diagnosis. Did I need a diagnosis to understand who I am? No. But does it help? Yeah, sure. Like, I knew from quite young that I had ADHD. It was fairly obvious. I bounce off the walls most of the time. But having something that says that actually, yes, you are this thing, and there are resources out there for you to help you understand. It's a bit like going back to Monty. Once we did know that he was autistic, because we went on a journey with that whole process, right? But once we did get him diagnosed and someone said, I think he has autism, which I think, just for the audience here, we need to say, from our journey of him being 18 months old when we started having problems in nursery schools with him, it took until year 5 for someone to actually say, we think he has autism.
5, yeah.
Right?
5, 6.
So he was 10 by that time.
So.
My ADHD has kicked in and I can't remember the end of the sentence, but I mean, that's typical.
Yeah.
Well, he could edit that bit out.
Yeah. Change that one.
I was talking about diagnosis, right?
Yeah, how long it took. You were saying how long it took.
Yeah. Okay, but I was talking about the difference that having a diagnosis makes.
Yes.
So with Monty, having some point of reference of, okay, so he has autism and he has or ADHD, so therefore, how do we help him? Like, his brain is brilliant, right?
Oh yeah, he's awesome. He's very clever.
For the audience, Monty is what is considered twice exceptional because he sits in the talented and gifted range because his IQ is that of a genius. But he also sits in special educational needs because he has autism and ADHD. And actually, for a developing mind, that is a huge conflict of interest. His brain is going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, but his executive functioning and his emotional capabilities cannot keep up, quite frankly. And that's where we get mood swings and violent outbursts. And even in his own presentation, it works against him because he looks like an adult, but his emotional intelligence doesn't meet that, right? But because we've had this diagnosis, we are then able to wrap the tools around him to help him to navigate through the world.
We still.
Yes, it will be.
We didn't wrap yet fully.
But we do wrap them. We wrap them all the time. It's an evolving situation. Having an autistic child is like being on a roller coaster. I said that already. Sometimes you're up here and you think, I'm doing a great job. I'm a great mum. And then the next day, you know.
Yeah, it always reminds me.
It's like being. I saw a meme on Instagram. Actually, it was a bit like, you know, I started off the morning with my autistic child, and it looks like, you know, life is bliss, and you're lying on a beach, and everything's merry. And then by the afternoon, you're in a boat with a hurricane clinging onto the side, because that's exactly what it is, right? It is. You never know what's coming next.
Yeah, we will have how many times in school, whatever. Oh, we passed 2 months. Oh, now we passed 6 months. Oh. He's been good, and suddenly something disastrous happens.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the problem with schools in that context is that...
But I'm just saying,
his personality is never going to... okay, he can be great for ages, but he's still him. He's still going to have those outbursts. Autism isn't fixed.
Mm.
There is no cure. He doesn't need to be cured. Like, nobody needs to be fixed. Nobody needs to be cured. Let me just make that very clear. Like, we just need to understand him.
Yeah.
And the world needs to understand him. And sometimes give him a beat. You know what I mean? In fact, give everyone a beat sometimes. You know what I mean?
So
take a breath.
So you think that the part of the autism and ADHD, let's put these together, let's say, they delay certain maturity. I mean, as you said, executive functions are not functioning.
No, I didn't mean it. I didn't. No, his executive function skills struggle.
Does that relate to the social intelligence? That's how I understood it from.
No, I mean, we know from Monty's Ed Psych reports that his emotional intelligence is out of sync with his cognitive abilities, right? His cognitive abilities are extremely high.
Yeah.
His IQ is very high.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you comparing both, you mean? Or is that
they're in conflict with each other?
Okay.
Because his brain is going at a million miles an hour thinking about quantum physics or God knows what else. But actually, I mean, the example I always use is he can't tie his shoelaces up.
Right.
Like, there are like you've seen him. He'll go across in the evening to go to the kitchen and put the remote control in the fridge.
Yes.
Because he's distracted.
Yeah.
I mean, he does funny stuff all the time. But actually, part of being his parents is helping him to understand himself and be able to take the piss out of himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that we tried to put into him, having that, saying jokes and whatever, but still, social impact that he receives from others. I think it's...
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
If you could do all of this schooling again, because believe me, if I knew all the things I knew now, I'd do it so very differently. What would you do differently? No, sorry, I'll ask you a different question. Would you, for children like Monty, put them into a school together?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah. But
because
but you put them in a school that the thing is they know. Like, see, every time, this is where the conflict comes in my head. Neither me, you, and the school at that sort of time, we knew he's different. We knew he's clever. He knew he can do things other kids cannot do. But also at the same time, we had the issues socially and in a group, like in being in school like this. So I'd put kids where their parents knew, and they knew, like all together. I think it's that young age is where the difficulties lie. But when you look at them in the last couple of years, when they move into their teens, yes, it'd be great to put them in similar groups, similar categories. Again, where maybe we're now boxing, but they should be more of them in the same environment, because what they lack in normal schools is other kids don't understand. Though the school could say we're inclusive, we have a team to look at, the other kids don't get it.
No.
As I said, it's like until I got diagnosed and until I think it's people cannot absorb the severity, in a sense, of
how it affects your daily life. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody says, oh, I do forget. Oh, I sometimes put the remote control into, the fridge. Yeah, you've done it once. This is happening all the time. You know what I mean? You forgot your keys once. You forgot your sunglasses once, twice.
How many pairs of sunglasses have you lost?
Oh, yeah.
How many times do I have to buy you a new pair of Ray-Bans for Christmas?
Every year. Sometimes the same model, because I like the same model, because I lost them. Yeah, no, I mean, that whole distraction. Anyways, going back to your original question, would you put them in the same school? Yes, but I wouldn't. It's the difficulty is in a younger age. I don't think in a younger age it's different, because they're still younger, they're babies, But in a certain, I mean, I would say after 12, 13, yeah.
I would say
yes.
like primary school.
Would you?
So like primary school, they can still go to school with the other kids.
Okay.
Because you're learning
Yes.
a general
Yes. Yeah. That's my point. Yeah.
academia, subjects, whatever.
Yeah.
And actually, it's not bad to learn how to navigate
And
being
you need
around.
to navigate social, and you have difficulties with others. Because in
But once
general,
they
life
go
is not
into-
easy. Anyways, you need
It's true. You've got to be able to manage conflict, and you've got to be able to
and that's where
understand
you
how
learn
to
it
deal.
when you're
Yeah.
smaller, the
Yeah.
whole conflict, my toy, your toy, all of that stuff.
But now, when I look at Monty's social circle, I mean, 9 times out of 10, well, actually, most of a lot of the children that he socializes with come from the autism group that we took him to at the clinic
I think
that we
was
used,
one
right?
of the great ideas that they've done.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it helped him and many
Hugely,
friends. Yeah.
hugely. He used to bound in there.
You need to put that into context, what it is, what we're talking about.
Well, I was getting there, to be fair.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Cut.
So,
Yeah.
given it's the first episode and I don't have any sponsorship yet, I'm not going to mention the clinic's
the
name.
name.
You know what I mean? That's
Say
why I was
what-
like,
what they've done.
but, okay,
without the name.
but we use the services of a clinic here in Dubai. They offer therapy, psychiatry, diagnoses. 3 out of the 4 of us have been diagnosed there. I do my therapy there. Monty does his therapy there. But they also host, what do they call it? Like a course for autistic children, where they put 6 to 8 kids together who have similar interests, and through activities, actually, through play and activities, they will have someone with them who is able to talk to them about what autism is, what it means, how it affects them, but in a way that they basically don't realize it's happening. And for them, they get to meet other children who are like them. And in my opinion, it has been life-changing for Monty. Up until that point in time, he had his childhood friend, who is known since a baby. But other than that, he did not really have friends. And last weekend, he hosted a club at our house, which had 10 kids in it that all rocked up to play Dungeons and Dragons for the afternoon whilst he was the dungeon master. And most of that friendship group has, not all of them are,
Evolved from,
but they've
the
evolved.
start.
The catalyst was going to those classes and meeting other like-minded children and connecting with them and keeping those friendships going. And it has evolved into something very beautiful. And someone said something to me the other day about, that same question I asked you about, should children be with other neurodiverse children in school? And I'm a bit like you. I think maybe primary school is great. Secondary school, yes, I think there's a place for it, 100%, because Monty wasn't getting anything out of secondary school on a social level. There was a big difference between him and the neurotypical children. And it made me sort of look at myself in many ways. And I think you'll probably resonate with this, that we don't have any neurotypical friends. Like, I am like a magnet for neurodiverse people because I gravitate towards what's different. I don't like the norm. I don't like to do what's expected of me. Stereotypes don't fit. And therefore, I'm not neurotypical. I am neurodiverse. And I find my people in other people that are different. I actually find being around neurotypical people quite challenging because they have expectations that I can't fulfill, quite frankly, because they're conformist and I'm not. And I suppose there's a conversation around, is my lack of conformism to do with my neurodiversity or just my personality? But as far as I'm concerned, I'm a neurodiverse person and that is part of my personality. So.
Well, I mean, the word conformist, I think, that could be a whole topic on another podcast.
It probably could.
Yeah.
I mean, you come from a very conformist society and you're not conformist at all.
Yeah, and I think that's why in my head, my ADHD went into tangents thinking about podcasts and all of this. Why we're here. I think that's a topic
It
on
is
its
a topic
own,
by itself.
because there's a debate there. Because what is
yeah.
conformity and what is... So it could be a topic. But I think... I don't think we have... or as you go along, you tend to be more friend with the Neurodiverse. While you were asking a question, saying that, trying to count all the close friends and non-close friends, or friends you had a close to for a long time, but you're no longer in this age. As you grow, life gets, busier and you don't see. But who are your really friends that you can pick up the phone anytime? If it's been a year or two, you haven't spoken to them, but they still, will answer you. These are the kind of treat you the same as you were 5-7 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Who are these dear friends? And when you start counting them, you realize they have maybe they're not diagnosed, but they have tendency to be a bit more quirky than the others. So it's another thing for our age, because we didn't have the tools and to be diagnosed. So
right.
There's a lot of us this age.
There's a lot of people like in our wider friendship group who are all having late diagnosis because it wasn't readily available when we were at school.
And a topic that wasn't but not many people are talking about. So that's another thing. It wasn't defined, as much as it is, and obviously the studies around it. But I would say, there's not many neurotypical friends. Very difficult to make friends with neurotypical, to be honest. You can work with them, alongside them, be work colleagues and stuff like that. When I say friends,
but they don't need the same level of dopamine stimulation.
Exactly. They find you a bit crazy.
That's true.
That's the word.
You are slightly crazy, it has to be said.
I am. I do have tendency to my craziness, but that's me.
Dopamine chasing, isn't it? Or hunting, what's the word? Dopamine craving, hunting, chasing, whatever it is. It happens.
Chase,
when it happens, it's wild.
Yeah, you do. Because obviously many people who know about ADHD, dopamine is low dopamine. You always want that, you're craving for it, because that's the one that boosts your nervous system. That's what you want to do.
When you're looking for a dopamine fix, what do you look for? Where are you going? Instagram.
Me and Instagram is like me and gaming. You kind of.
But you find that with a lot of neurodiverse people.
Yeah, I love gaming, right? Don't take me wrong, but then I'm in it. I can't get out of it, so it takes a lot of my time and my life. And I know I have work. I need to be. I'm a parent. I cannot game anymore. Similar to Instagram, I do have a limit on my phone. I limit myself. I do actually. I can show you. I have a limit, an hour a day. Yeah, I limit myself. So because you go into a rabbit hole, but there's not much something useful in there. I don't think it's as used to be exciting as it used to be.
Just scrolling.
It's scrolling down. Yeah. This is why I don't have TikTok. The people say to me, "Oh, TikTok is better." I was like, "No, I'm not going that way. No, I'm going." I shut down. I shut down Facebook a long time ago, and I'm gonna shut down Instagram. I do go in them for a while, a year maybe or two, then I go like, nah. I wasted so much time on this. I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't. I prefer reading news, something informative. I like podcasts. I listen to podcasts. Walking.
What do you listen to?
Like every other man.
Joe
Rogan is our hero. He's controversial. He's not a hero. But I scroll down, see who he gets. But many. I do flick between until I find somebody who I like. There's a couple of Middle Eastern ones also. But my topics are boring. Politics.
Do you ever listen to podcasts about neurodiversity?
I did start. You told me to start, so I started.
I told you? When was that?
I think you sent me the link.
Oh, okay. Was that ADHD Chatter?
I think so.
Yeah. The guy who started Lad Bible. Yeah, he's very interesting. And he talks a lot about RSD.
That's something. That's a topic by itself.
That is a topic by itself.
Can't go now on it. We have
no, we're talking about 5
minutes to go.
All right, go on. So. Tell me.
What?
How does RSD affect you?
It's a very, very strong feeling. It's. I think I don't know. I'm just going to talk about myself. It's a very big part of my diagnosis to know that. Knowing about it, knowing the feelings about it, it's very much strong in you.
Can I just interrupt you just for a minute? Because for anyone in the audience who doesn't know what RSD is, it's rejection sensitivity dysphoria.
Dysphoria.
Dysphoria. It can be called either. But okay, can you describe it since you haven't?
It's like, well, the assumption, I think, I've been looking at it from different, it's basically the assumption that you are rejected. It's yes, you do get rejected, definitely. People do get rejected in life in many ways. I mean, either on a relationship or a work or a sales pitch or whatever, but it's very strong. When people don't respond back to you, it kicks in. So, and you start building these perception. Maybe people are busy and come back to you on something. It plays in not just on a relationship level. It's a human-to-human relationship. It's not like in a, me and Jennifer relationship or me and my best friend relationship. Also affects you in a normal relationship. You always need an answer to something that you said, and that answer and reassurance that people are there, they see you. And I think it goes back to, your behaviors, and it builds up on your social level. It starts on your younger age.
Yeah, I mean, it's fundamentally
it's built up.
Been proven that a child of our generation, as it were, who went to school would have faced rejection in some way, shape or form throughout their schooling experience because they weren't understood. So therefore you're always told you're not good enough, or you're stupid, or you're slow, or you can't sit still, or you can't this. Very negative words are used. You're constantly hearing the negatives. Yeah. So that negativity creates almost like a cycle in your brain that you're assuming it before it's even happened.
And don't forget also social friendship.
Yeah.
Because it's not all about, it's also about your social life. As you go into your teens, that's when it's predominantly you start that where neurotypical kids.
It starts to be seen more.
They don't match with you. When you're younger, everybody's kind of in the same, sandpit. They all play and eat dirt together, But then as you grow up, you start seeing that. And that, I think, starts there. The pinpoint starts in your teens. That nobody gets you, nobody understands you, you're different than them. You're still within the same social structure that is built in schools. And then it's that you start finding that there is something is missing, that whole social connection that others have. In my experience, I was in basketball teams, I was in football teams, so I was part of always a team, but you do see the difference between the relationships that built between, me personally, it's not like I was rejected generally, in my teens, totally or put aside. You always find
but
your
you felt
group,
it.
But you felt
there's always some sort of situation that you have to navigate.
I got elected, as a what do you call in school, so you have skills, but it's holding the relationship is always the problem. You have that missing thing, it's very difficult to explain it.
I mean, to sum you up, you're the fun guy, but you're also really impulsive.
I'm the fun guy and the impulsive guy, crazy guy. Nobody wants to be around him.
So, whilst it's fun, and then when shit happens, no one wants to be anywhere near you.
When shit happens, everybody runs away. Tim, they point at you. Yeah. Or when they do shit, they put you in the front because everybody used to. It's him.
Yeah,
it's him. It's always him.
Before I ask you my closing question, I've asked you a lot of questions. Do you have any questions for me?
No, when are you going to invite me again? I mean, I'm...
You want to come back?
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, you like talking. I mean,
do.
This is the newsflash. Yasser likes talking.
But we can structure more of on a specific topic.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you're not going to ask me anything about my journey or diagnosis?
Why are you starting this?
Why am I starting this?
Yeah, that's the top. Why we're here.
Why are we here? Yeah, I mean, considering, for what the audience knows, this is the first time I've been in a studio and recorded a podcast.
Yes.
I am doing this because we're a neurodivergent family and we have been on quite the journey to understand each of our own profiles and what that means and how we navigate the world. I mean, we're all quite brilliant, quite frankly. You and I run successful businesses or successful people. Our son is a genius. If only he could tie his shoelaces. And our other son is absolutely bonkers, but will be brilliant. I mean, master criminal.
Master negotiator.
He's quite something. Very different personality to Monty.
Yes.
But he has his own profile and he's very sensitive.
Yeah.
But as we've navigated this journey and we've done it quite alone, and I think that's the problem, right? A lot of parents feel alone in their journey. People are suffering in silence. They think this is only happening to them. You know, they're sitting in their homes wondering where this experience of childhood that they thought was going to happen is. There is a grieving process that goes with a lot of diagnoses. And I've been, over the last 6 months or so, well, over the course of Monty's life, we've been on a journey, right? But over the last 6 months ago or so, I've been going to a lot of the parents groups. And what I've realized is everyone feels alone. And there is not a single group where at least 2 or 3 mothers don't cry their eyes out, quite frankly, because they're overwhelmed and overstimulated and are doing their best, whatever they may be. But when you've got these children, you suddenly become a school advocate and the expert automatically that you didn't sign up for it. You know what I mean? And you are doing a crash course and you've got your own needs and you've got a husband and probably other children, or maybe you're pregnant, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
And people need to know they're not alone. People need to know that this is normal, and your children and yourself, because most people are realizing, oh, if my kids are neurodivergent, maybe I am, or there's a connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going on their own journeys too. Why we need a community. Like, the community needs to be brought together. We need to have a voice. Why am I doing it? Because I'm always the loudest person in the room, quite frankly, and I've got a lot to say, and I believe it needs to be said. And I think if we can bring our knowledge and resource together and make other women, parents, families feel not so alone, then everything that we've been through will have helped other people. Perfect. And that's what I want to do.
Perfect. I like your answer.
All right. Well, I guess on that note, we might wrap it up.
Yeah,
so,
wrap it up, yeah.
I'm Jennifer, and this is Explore the Neuroverse.
Yes. And
thank you for coming in, Yasser.
Yeah.
Will you come back again?
People call me ass.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.